This is a tragic hypothetical, but it raises deep questions about responsibility and boundaries. Let's break it down. 1. Tommy, the child. At 4 to 8 years old, Tommy does not yet have the cognitive maturity to separate fantasy from reality in a fully reliable way. Children at that age often imagine themselves as superheroes, animals, or magical beings. He cannot reasonably be held responsible for his own death in this scenario. 2. Parents. The parents carry primary responsibility. While encouraging imagination is healthy, they failed in 2 critical duties. Teaching limits of reality. It's a parent's role to gently explain the difference between pretend play and physical reality. Allowing Tommy to identify as a bird is one thing. Never clarifying that humans cannot fly is negligence. Safety oversight. Living in an 8th-story apartment, the parents should have been especially vigilant about windows. Child-proof locks, supervision, or restricted access would have prevented the fatal leap. 3. Teachers and school educators accommodated the parents' request, but schools also have a responsibility to balance tolerance with reality-based education. A child acting like a bird is harmless role play, but at some point, educators should reinforce natural science, e.g., only birds have wings that work for flying. However, schools cannot reasonably be expected to monitor a child's home environment or prevent dangerous behavior outside of school. Their share of fault is much smaller. 4. Societal pressures. The story highlights how social tolerance, if taken without limits, can turn into dangerous enablement. There's a difference between respecting identity and indulging literal impossibilities. Society's fault lies in sometimes pressuring adults to validate a child's imagination without asking whether validation crosses into dangerous neglect. Conclusion. Primary fault, the parents' failure to balance imagination with reality, lack of safety precautions. Secondary fault, teachers school only to a limited extent for not providing corrective education. No fault, Tommy himself. He was a child acting on his imagination. The tragedy ultimately stems from a lack of boundaries between fantasy and reality, and from neglect of physical safety responsibilities by the parents.